Have you ever noticed how some people walk into a room, read everyone instantly, and never get played, while others fall into the same traps? You can switch jobs, follow new routines, cut people out of your life, and still end up in the exact same place a year later. Not because you lack discipline or motivation, but because of what happens when the pressure is on. Most people don't think in those moments. They default. They default to what feels safe and what looks normal. Thinkers like Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He didn't study how people succeed. He studied how they make decisions when they are uncertain, emotional, or afraid. Because when human behavior is under duress, it follows predictable patterns, and those patterns can be steered. You might believe you are weighing options and thinking independently. In reality, you are likely cycling through the exact same mental loops you've been conditioned into for years. And here is the uncomfortable truth. If your decision-making patterns can be mapped and predicted by someone else, your choices aren't actually yours, which makes you perfectly controllable. There is a hierarchy to how we think, starting at level 1, default programming. You don't decide under pressure, you reveal your programming. Same triggers, same reactions, same outcomes. Anyone paying attention can map what makes you hesitate and what pushes you to react. Once that map exists, they don't have to force you to do anything. They just press the right point and you move yourself. Then there is level 2, imitation. You stop repeating your own past mistakes and start copying the herd's behavior because it looks like proof. The problem is that when thousands of people start copying the exact same moves, they become predictable at scale. Predictable groups are incredibly easy to guide. You are only copying the surface. You don't see the mechanics of why a strategy worked, so when the environment inevitably shifts, the entire herd crashes into a wall, completely confused. You weren't thinking, you were just sinking. Level 3 is information addiction. This is when you delay a move because you tell yourself you need just one more answer. You have tabs open, videos queued, and opinions stacked. You think you are building confidence, but every new input actually multiplies your uncertainty instead of resolving it. Once your mind reaches overload, it stops looking for truth and starts desperately searching for relief. That is exactly when influence slips in. The loudest, most confident voice feels right because it quiets the noise. You become highly vulnerable to anyone selling the illusion of certainty. These first 3 levels are escalating forms of avoidance. In your desire for safety, you surrender your agency to whoever promises the easiest answer. To break out of that trap, you have to cross a threshold into level 4, trade-off awareness. You realize you aren't stuck because a decision is confusing. You are stuck because you don't want to accept what the decision will cost you. Every choice takes something from you: time, energy, or freedom. By holding out for a flawless option with 0 downside, you attempt to keep everything. But while you wait, you're quietly bleeding out your time and momentum. That is the hidden cost most people never calculate. This is precisely how manipulation operates. It sells you the upside, the fast reward, and the benefit, while aggressively burying the price you will eventually have to pay. The shift happens the moment you train your mind to ask, what am I giving up here? When you start evaluating your options based on the required sacrifices rather than just the gains, the illusion breaks. Offers look different. The people making them look different. True agency doesn't come from avoiding loss. It comes from actively choosing which loss is actually worth the outcome. That brings us to level 5, probability thinking. Here, you stop chasing guaranteed outcomes. You stop asking, will this work? And start asking, what are the odds this works in my favor? Demanding certainty is just an ego defense mechanism to protect yourself from being wrong. While you sit paralyzed waiting for a perfectly safe signal, someone else is already moving on a mathematical advantage. The final layer is level 6, second-order thinking. While everyone else asks, what happens next? You ask, and then what? You look directly past the immediate emotional relief of a choice to trace the chain reactions it will trigger down the line. The bait is usually the first consequence. The real cost comes later. Taking a quick win feels smart in the moment, but the hidden consequences quietly collect interest, eventually turning short-term comfort into a long-term trap. A one-step thinker is always chasing relief. They react to what is right in front of them. A five-step thinker anticipates those consequences and positions themselves around the outcomes before they even happen. Mastering these top levels grants you actual control. You stop reacting to the immediate moves other people make, and you start shaping the reality they are walking into. Here is the brutal reality. Your life does not reflect your intentions. Your circumstances are an undeniable reflection of your dominant level of thinking. Time does not fix poor decision-making patterns. It compounds them. If you process options the same way every time, you only deepen your vulnerability to the environments and people who benefit from you staying predictable. From this point forward, every single choice you make under pressure will instantly expose the cognitive level you are defaulting to. But that hyper-awareness is your greatest advantage. Once you clearly see your own patterns, you stop being easy to predict. And if you cannot be predicted, you cannot be manipulated. The real test starts right now. The next time you feel yourself reacting, copying, delaying, or chasing certainty, pause. Ask yourself, what level am I operating from right now? If you want to continue mastering the invisible patterns that control human behavior, subscribe. Learn to see the pattern, and you can no longer be controlled by it.